Abortion should not only be safe and legal, it should be rare. Abortion, legal and public perspective, legal medicine. Who was the first country to legalize abortion? Mexico. 1920, Lenin legalized all abortions in Soviet Union. 1931, Mexico was the first country in the world to legalize abortion in cases of rape. 1932, Poland was the first country in Europe outside Soviet Union to legalize abortion in cases of rape and threat to maternal health. Is abortion illegal anywhere in the world? While abortions are legal at least under certain conditions in almost all countries, these conditions vary widely. According to a United Nations report with data gathered up to 2019, abortion is allowed in 98% of countries in order to save a woman's life. At what point does human life begins? Life begins at fertilization with the embryo's conception. Development of embryo begins at stage 1 when a sperm fertilizes an oocyte and together they form a zygote. Human development begins after the union of male and female gametes and germ cells during a process known as fertilization or conception. Abortion is defined as the removal of pregnancy tissue, products of conception, or the fetus and placenta after birth from the uterus. In general, the terms fetus and placenta are used after 8 weeks of pregnancy. Pregnancy tissue and products of conception refer to tissue produced by the union of an egg and sperm before 8 weeks. Other terms for abortion include elective abortion, induced abortion, termination of pregnancy, and therapeutic abortion. Reasons or motivations for abortion. Personal. The reason why women have abortion are diverse and vary across the world. Some of the reasons may include an inability to afford a child, domestic violence, lack of support, feeling they are too young, and the wish to complete education or advance a career. Additional reasons include not being willing to raise a child conceived as a result of rape or incest. Societal. Some abortions are undergone as the result of societal pressures. These might include the preference for children of a specific sex or race, disapproval of single or early motherhood, stigmatization of people with disabilities, insufficient economic support for families, lack of access to or rejection of contraceptive methods, or efforts toward population control, such as China's one-child policy. These factors can sometimes result in compulsory abortion or sex-selective abortion. Cancer. The rate of cancer during pregnancy is 0.02%, and in many cases, cancer of the mother leads to consideration of abortion to protect the life of the mother or in response to the potential damage that may occur to the fetus during treatment. This is particularly true for cervical cancer and breast cancer during pregnancy. Current laws pertaining to abortion are diverse. Religious, moral, and cultural factors continue to influence abortion laws throughout the world. The right to life, the right to liberty, the right to security of person, and the right to reproductive health are major issues of human rights that sometimes constitute the basis for the existence or absence of abortion laws. Induced abortion has long been the source of considerable debate. Ethical, moral, philosophical, biological, religious, and legal issues surrounding abortions are related to value system. Opinions of abortion may be about fetal rights, governmental authority, and women's rights. Is abortion legal in the Philippines? Abortion remains illegal in the Philippines under all circumstances and is highly stigmatized. While a liberal interpretation of the law could exempt abortion provision from criminal liability when done to save the woman's life, there are no such explicit provisions. What is the Philippines Republic Act of Abortion? It shall be equally to protect the life of the mother and the life of the unborn from conception. The act is criminalized by the Philippine law. Articles 256, 258, and 259 of the revised Penal Code of the Philippines mandate imprisonment for women who undergo abortion as well as for any reasons who assist in the procedures. Article 11 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution says, in part, Section 12, the state recognizes the sanctity of family life and shall protect and strengthen the family as a basic autonomous social institution. It shall equally protect the life of the mother and the life of the unborn from conception. Abortion is legal in the U.S., but abortion laws and restrictions vary by state. Is abortion a human rights issue? Access to safe abortion is a matter of human rights. Access to safe abortion services is a human right. Under international human rights law, everyone has a right to life, a right to health, and a right to be free from violence, discrimination, and torture or cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment. Why is abortion such a controversial issue? What are the medical arguments for and against abortion? What are the religious arguments for and against abortion? What are the political arguments for and against abortion? Before I proceed, please subscribe and click the notification bell for future updates. What are the 30 Declaration of Human Rights? Those 30 articles, currently known as 30 Universal Declaration of Human Rights or 30 Basic Human Rights, including rights to life, rights to education, rights to organize, and rights to treated fair, among other things. The 30 Universal Human Rights also cover up freedom of opinion, expression, thought, and religion. Denying access to safe and legal abortion is a public health issue. The illegality of abortion, with no clear exception, drives women to self-induced abortion, unnecessarily endangering their health and lives. If we want healthcare service providers to provide human, non-judgmental, compassionate post-abortion care, and if we want to reduce maternal mortality and morbidity due to unsafe abortion, then we should rethink the law that restricts access to safe and legal abortion. Access to safe and legal abortion is also a social justice issue, with rich women being able to go to places like Hong Kong, where abortion is safe and legal, while poor women who do not have funds to go abroad end up self-inducing unsafe abortion. Allowing penal laws on abortion in Philippine laws make us all complicit to the estimated 3 women who die each day from self-induced unsafe abortion. Letting such law prevail in our society breeds hatred and hostility towards Filipino women who resorted to self-induced and unsafe abortion. Illegalizing abortion can never stop Filipinas an unsafe and dangerous abortion. Many died because of its covert acts. Many died because they are discriminated and stigmatized. Asian countries such as China, Japan, Malaysia, Singapore, and Vietnam have liberal abortion laws, while Cambodia, Indonesia, Thailand have recently liberalized their laws to allow abortion on certain grounds. On the contrary, other countries with constitutions and laws explicitly protecting the life of the unborn or life from conception allow abortion under certain exceptions such as Ireland, Slovak Republic, Poland, Kenya, Hungary, and Costa Rica. The Committee on Elimination of Discrimination Against Women, CEDAW Committee, recommends for the Philippines to remove the punitive provisions imposed on women who induce abortion and to provide access to quality services for the management of complications arising from unsafe abortion to reduce maternal mortality rates. The committee recommends for the Philippines to amend Articles 256 to 259 of the Revised Penal Code to legalize abortion in cases of rape, incest, threats to the life and or health of the mother, or serious malformation of the fetus, and decriminalize all other cases where women undergo abortion. Our rule of law is governed by secular standards, not religious standards. To uphold women's right to equality and eliminate discrimination, women must have access to safe and legal abortion. Philippine laws must uphold secular standards, human rights, and public health. Rappler.com. We should all should work towards a human society. There were no women to die from unsafe abortion. Making abortion safe and legal will save the lives of women. Rappler.com. The issue of abortion is a controversial topic in the Philippines, despite being a Catholic country. This is because liberal ideas such as feminism have reached our shores. At present, there are some women's rights groups in the Philippines that are pushing for the legalization of abortion. They point out that abortion is already rampant in the Philippines. Although unbeknown to the general public, these abortions are usually done in makeshift clinics by people who often have no professional medical background. Despite advances in reproductive health law, many Filipino women experience unintended pregnancies. And because abortion is highly stigmatized in the country, many who seek abortion undergo unsafe procedures. The Philippine government has made efforts to improve access to contraceptive services, but abortion is illegal under all circumstances and is thus highly stigmatized. Nonetheless, abortion is common but is often performed in unsanitary conditions and using outdated techniques. Unsafe abortion carries significant risks for Filipino women. About 1,000 die each year from abortion complications, which contributes to the nation's high maternal mortality ratio. Tens of thousands of women are hospitalized each year for complications from unsafe abortion. Poor women, rural women, and young women are particularly likely to experience unintended pregnancy and to seek abortion under unsafe conditions. According to a national 2004 survey of women of reproductive age, individuals who have abortions are similar to Filipino women overall. They are typically Catholic, are married, are mothers, and have at least a high school education. The most common reason women identified for having an abortion, cited by nearly 3 in 4, was inability to afford the cost of raising a child or an additional child. More than half of these who had an abortion said they underwent the procedure because they felt they already had enough children or that their pregnancy came too soon after their last birth. Because of the risk of unsafe abortion, many women need post-abortion care. but they face barriers in obtaining such care, including the stigma around abortion and the high cost of medical care. Policymakers and government agencies should educate the public about contraception, ensure adequate funding for contraceptive services, and eliminate barriers to obtaining methods, particularly among disadvantaged populations. To help destigmatize post-abortion care, the government should train more providers in the use of safer and less invasive methods of care. Ex- Expressing negative views on abortion is dangerous because it maintains that status quo where many medical providers threaten women with prosecution in cases of intrauterine fetal death, spontaneous abortion, abortion due to trauma from intimate partner violence, and self-induced abortion. As a consequence of these threats of prosecution, women end up dying because they delay going to hospitals or do not seek emergency medical care at all. Denying access to safe and legal abortion is a public health issue. We need to address the prevailing inequality besetting poor women. Serving the social justice concern will contribute to greatly reducing maternal deaths and morbidity related to self-induced unsafe abortion. The health consequences of unsafe abortion are significant. The Department of Health acknowledges that high maternal mortality is preventable through the provision of effective family planning methods to combat unmet need, particularly among poor women, and that access to antenatal care and to care for pregnancy and abortion-related complications would also help to reduce maternal mortality. In the Philippines, the stigma surrounding abortion is another factor that makes it difficult for a woman to seek post-abortion care. Some women report feeling ashamed and intimidated by healthcare workers, and in some cases, women are not provided with pain relievers and anesthesia, or treatment is delayed or denied altogether. Others report being threatened that they would be turned into the police. Doctors themselves report having a bias against post-abortion care patients, with some believing that these women have committed punishable crimes. Other healthcare providers may have difficulty properly managing complications when women cancel the cost of their medical emergency. Illegal and unsafe abortion carry social and economic consequences. The social and economic costs of clandestine abortion and post-abortion care are substantial to both individual women and the health system as a whole. Because abortion is illegal, many providers charge high fees to compensate for the clandestine nature of the procedure, and hence obtaining a relatively safe abortion in clinic is out of reach for the average Filipino woman. Many women with an untended pregnancy resort to cheaper and often less safe methods, which may result in complications that ultimately incur significant costs to the woman and to the healthcare system. Recommendations for addressing unsafe abortion and its consequences. The passage of the Republic Health Law is a milestone that will help to reduce maternal mortality and improve the overall health and lives of Filipino women and their families. With full implementation of the law, nearly all Filipino women, including young, unmarried, poor, and rural women, should have an access to reproductive health information and services that help them to plan and care for their families. Destigmatize post-abortion care among providers to ensure fair and human treatment and among the population as a whole to encourage women to seek timely post-abortion care. Study the impact of the current abortion ban and explore allowing abortion at, at least in exceptional cases such as to save a woman's life or preserve her health in cases of rape or incest and where there is gross fetal deformity incompatible with life. In the Philippines, most unintended pregnancies resulting in abortion are preventable, as is nearly all abortion-related mortality and morbidity. At present, women who opted for abortion are stigmatized by our society. Many died, and death would have been prevented if we know that there are segments of our society needs our compassion and understanding. Banning abortion would not stop the practice because some women would continue using the services of private abortionists and rich. We could not just watch them and die and stigmatize them because of their choice. We must not discriminate this segment of our population. They need our support, comfort, and understanding. Death is always preventable. Have a change of heart in caring for our mothers on the wrong side of the fence. Do not stigmatize them. Do not shame them. Do not threaten them. They need our support and understanding. For all the things my hands have held, the best by far is you. Pro-life. Con- Controversy is always there. Pro-life is, I know what's best for you. Pro-choice is, you know what is best for you. Please subscribe and click the notification bell for future updates. Thank you.